What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Deep Dig of Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew, with my other host right over there.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out as far as growth, and you don't miss out on any of this content that we are pumping out.
Yeah, and today we had to do a quick emergency record session because people are making lists of where they rank the playoff quarterbacks. Dan Orlovsky specifically has Brock Purdy ranked 13, just over Skylar Thompson, so he's the second worst quarterback in the playoffs. Go ahead and comment where you think Brock Purdy should rank, and we're going to talk about that list today. What were your immediate thoughts?
I understand where you're ranking as far as like Brock Purdy with the unknown. So it's a quarterback that's never been in the playoffs. Again, he's only played 6 games, so it's like, okay, can I really put him up there as far as top 5 hardcore? No, you can't, just because of the unknown. But then you look at the list and you're like, well, I think Brock Purdy's better than Dak. I think Brock Purdy's better than Daniel Jones. So it's like, it's just weird to see. So that's like the first thing that really kind of caught my eye. It's like, okay, I understand to a certain extent, but then again, I don't really understand.
I think the top 5 we don't have to even like really touch on. It's like, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, any combination of those 3 are going to be in there. Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts, I think, earned his way into that 4 or 5 spot. I guess we could argue Justin Herbert, what he's accomplished, and it is his first time in playoffs. But outside of that, you got 6, Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady, Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, Skylar Thompson. What jumps out to me is Dak Prescott just looked garbage in the final game of the season. He looked terrible. Brock Purdy has not had a game where he looked that bad. Dak leads the league in interceptions,
despite only playing 12 games.
Kirk Cousins, yeah, they got a lot of wins, but I don't think anyone really believes in him. He hasn't looked amazing
in prime time or in the playoffs, so like that has to count against you.
And Brock Purdy just beat Geno Smith.
Yeah.
He just beat Geno. So how are you going to put Geno Smith above him with the decline of the Seahawks in the second half of the season?
Yeah, in the second half of the season, the Seahawks have lost, so they've won 3 games of their last 8. So they are on the, again, like how I put it, the Seahawks was a plane and the pilot had a heart attack, it's like, passed out. They really just coasted it to the end, and yeah, they just so happened to like get into the playoffs. But it was really it was a hit and miss. You know what I mean? They really needed the Lions to pull it out for them.
Yeah, Geno started hot. I'll give him that. If he was the Geno Smith in like the early weeks of the season, I'd put him higher on the list. But at this point, I think you have to put Brock above Geno. Just he beat him. He looked better. He looked way better. And then Trevor Lawrence, I think, is my wild card here. Like, he could go lower, he could go higher. I personally think Trevor Lawrence has looked amazing this season. I know the last game you said he looked like garbage, but I was watching that game. It was a lot of his offensive line struggling, the wide receivers struggling. It was just a dirty game, and I think he made some key throws that really helped them out.
I mean, their defense won them. He even said it afterwards. He was like, we got to be better. I got to be better. This defense really won us this game today, and we're just lucky that it happened. And yeah, he was straight up lucky that they did it. The quarterback that I'm surprised is on here because he's not even playing is Lamar Jackson.
That's true. Like,
why
where
is
do you
Lamar
even rank
Jackson
him
there
when he's not going to play or he doesn't want to be there?
Yeah, so it's like, okay, well, let's take out Lamar Jackson because again, he's not playing. Let's put in Tyler Snoop Huntley and see where he ranks. I think Brock Purdy ranks above him, obviously. So it's one of those things that I don't think that Brock Purdy should have been placed there. I think Skylar Thompson is placed perfectly. Like, again, he's again,
no disrespect,
but he was a 7th round pick. He looks like it just doesn't look like it's clicking. And good for him for actually getting in there and getting the win to get them into the playoffs. But
if you want to talk about ugly games, that was a hideous game. The Jets and Dolphins with Skylar Thompson and was it Joe Flacco played that game?
Was it Joe Flacco?
Yeah, I don't even think Skylar Thompson started that game. I think it was someone else.
What? I think I don't know. I'll have to double check on that. But yeah, I think Skylar Thompson is rightfully placed. But again, like, why is Lamar there? You have to take out Lamar, put in Tyler Huntley. Dak is not good. The wild card for me is actually Tom Brady. How would you, like, where do you rank Tom Brady in that? Because again, Tom Brady is so feared and he's so highly revered. He hasn't looked as great this season, but it's still Tom freaking Brady. So there's always that chance, like, what if he just turns it on, dude?
Yeah, it's tough because there was games this season where you kind of think Tom Brady's going to have that moment of, like, he's back, they're looking great, they're going to be dangerous, but that never really happened. They were always like a bad team that kind of skated by, and they just lucked out that their division was so bad. So I don't think Tom Brady got it too much anymore. Maybe he gets some playoff magic and gets it going, but they have not looked good this season at all. And the only thing I think they have going for them is they're playing a Cowboys team that is falling apart right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucks were the only division winner to have a negative point differential. I think a lot of that does have to do with the downfall of the, like, I don't think the defense was as dominant, but just something on the offense did not click. I think maybe moving away from Bruce Arians played a factor into that. And just when you leave Byron Leftwich alone, obviously, like, there is an experience gap from having Bruce Arians there to not having Bruce Arians there. So I think that plays into it. But maybe just Tom's done with Tampa. Maybe it's just like one of those things like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, this isn't clicking. I need to get out of here. I need to go somewhere else.
And what about Daniel Jones being number 8 on this list? How are we feeling about Daniel Jones?
I don't think he's as bad as everyone thought. So this year saved his career. He should go and thank Brian Daboll from the bottom of his heart because this saved his career. Everyone was ready to give up on Daniel Jones. They thought he was just like an athlete pretty much. They thought personally, I thought he was the next Mitch Trubisky, like someone who can show flashes, but really he's just kind of whatever. Brian Daboll made him look like a real quarterback, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up getting a long-term deal done with him and just seeing like, hey, this guy's young. We can build around him. We could do what the Lions are doing with Jared Goff, where we build up an amazing roster, and then if we need to make a move to jump to the next level of quarterback, then we can. So I could see that being done. If I was them, that's what I would do, is get a team-friendly long-term deal.
I'm on the complete opposite side of that.
Whoa.
I think Daniel Jones is like, hey, yeah, cool, you got us here to the playoffs. You were okay this year. You were good this year. But they're not ready to commit to him long-term and pay him starting quarterback money for a guy that you're still not sure is a franchise guy. This is a team that barely got in playoffs and was carried by Saquon Barkley. They were fucking carried by him, not by Daniel Jones. And yeah, okay, Daniel Jones has terrible receivers, didn't have weapons, and he still looked pretty good. But I think they could get a young quarterback in here, especially because they're probably going to lose Saquon. I don't know if they want to pay him or what's going to happen. It's a running back. But if they lose Saquon, do you really want to roll with Daniel Jones as your guy to carry your offense now going forward? I don't think that's something that would work. Maybe get a young guy in for Brian Daboll to really mold around.
I don't think you have to pay Daniel Jones top tier money. I think he would take whatever you would give him just for that security, knowing like, okay, well, even if they do want to move off of me, if they trade me away, I'm a cheap, easy bridge quarterback for the next team. It's just one of those things you always got to be looking ahead. Like Daniel Jones knows where he is. He's a like 20 to 13 tier quarterback, and that's where he's going to be. But look at those guys. If you're in the right system, it works out perfectly. Jimmy G is one of those guys too, where, hey, in the Shanahan offense, this guy looks pretty good. If we get him away from that, what is he going to be? I'm not too sure. So this is like the perfect like mesh of what they're going for. They're not going to have to pay him crazy money. I don't think they're paying him crazy money. Would you? Like,
I wouldn't pay him.
I would pay him good, just baseline.
Bring me Geno Smith back to New York.
No, that
Give
ain't
me
happening.
Geno.
If the Seahawks I don't know. I think the Seahawks are going to be in play for Derek Carr. I could see that being a match. Pete Carroll, I think he's a guy who would really like Derek. I don't know if I'm Gino, I'm taking a step back and I'm looking at the field and I'm like, who want me? You know what I mean?
I ain't right back, though.
Again, because it's one of those things like, if you're even in the top 40 of quarterbacks, you're going to make a bag this year. You're going to get paid because look at the NFL. The NFL had more starting quarterbacks this year than ever before. And I think it's going to continue to go like that with the extra game added. We're going to have the playoffs moving forward. And it's just less practice time. Just all these factors that equal to guys getting hurt. So I think if you're one of those guys, you go and you test the market and you see what's my price tag, because yesterday's price is not today's price.
And just to wrap this up, make sure you comment. Let us know where you would rank Brock Purdy on this list of playoff quarterbacks. And let's just run through them real quick and see because I'm not sure where I would rank him. Quarterbacks you would take over Brock Purdy: Patrick Mahomes.
Duh.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Duh.
Hurts.
Yes.
Herbert.
Yep.
Lamar.
Yep. Yep. Now, hold on. Hurt Lamar, or like, does he have a contract? He's happy.
Lamar as of right now going into playoffs.
He's hurt. He's not playing, so no.
Okay, so
again, Lamar should not be on this. Let's instead of Lamar, substitute him for Tyler Huntley.
Okay, Tyler Huntley.
Brock Purdy.
Brady.
Brady.
Daniel Jones.
Brock Purdy.
Trevor Lawrence.
Brock Purdy.
Geno Smith.
Brock Purdy.
Kirk Cousins.
Brock Purdy.
Dak Prescott.
Brock Purdy.
Skylar Thompson.
Brock Purdy.
So we have Brock Purdy ranked 7th on this list. I think that's a pretty fair assessment.
I think that's, again, we ranked people, like, it's not like we said he was this is the best quarterback in the league, blah, blah, blah. No, we didn't say that. Like, we're not getting crazy over here. But he deserves more respect on this list.
There you have it. Let us know in the comments if he's disrespected, where you would rank him. Go and share to some 49ers fans. See it.
Later.